Hey everybody, I'm Fox with FoxeoGames, and welcome to a new Dark Souls playthrough. We're going to be talking about a smattering of different topics. And as I record this, we are all in the great virus lockdown of 2020, where everybody is losing their shit and hysterically panicking, going out of their minds over a relatively minor, not so big deal virus. So, of course, many of you have been already triggered by me saying that. By the way, guys, this is going to be a Dark Wraith playthrough. I need to get to the bottomless box where I've stored most of the Dark Wraith gear. Hopefully, I have the bottomless box still on me and don't need to get all the way to the merchant. Let's pour some hot black coffee, today's drink of choice. Hot black coffee from freshly ground Starbucks espresso beans. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. That's pretty good. As always. So, everyone's going nuts over the COVID virus. The C virus. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's 2020. It is March of 2020. I'm trying not to say too much to get this video demonetized, but I'm avoiding labeling the virus directly. Maybe just saying the word virus is too much. We'll see. Aha! The bottomless box. Here we are. Excellent. We are going to get rid of some junk that we don't need. Strip down almost naked here. We're going to leave on the Ring of Favor and Protection. We're going to take that off and get rid of that. Here we go. Look, that's what I look like deep underneath, guys. It's been tough not being able to go to the gym. Went for a jog the other day with my girlfriend. Felt great. Being sedentary is not a good feeling. It is not. Alright, let's do that. We're going to get rid of the items that we don't need on us, which includes the Black Knight armor set. So, why do I not think this virus is such a big deal? Well, because I'm looking at what a lot of different experts are saying, and it appears that everyone's just doing a follow the leader thing. Everyone's just looking at everyone else and going, well, this country over here panicked, let's panic too. That country over there is panicking, we should panic. That country over there is shutting down everything, let's shut down everything. And in the US, you got governors from one state looking at governors from another state and going, well, wait a minute, California's doing this, I guess we should too. Oh my goodness, I just coughed. Do I have it? Do I have the virus? Am I dying? So, anyway, long story short, there is way too much panicking, way too much hysteria, way too much listening to the media, and way too little reasonableness. People actually looking at this and saying, hey, okay, this new virus thing, it's not good. It's definitely not good. It's not a good thing. It may affect some people very negatively, but guess what? That's life, okay? All these people running around terrified going, you're gonna kill Grandma and Grandpa if you step outside your home for more than 5 seconds. You're gonna kill your grandparents. You're gonna kill old people. Millions will die. Of course, you know, we heard about how many people were gonna die back when they were voting on the new healthcare bill back in, what was that, 2014? I don't even remember. It was under Obama. For those of us with seasonal allergies, or those of us who just always have issues with phlegm and need to cough occasionally, this is a very difficult time for us. Let's see here. You know what I'm talking about, guys, if you're out there coughing and everyone's looking at you like, oh my god, he's got it. He's got it. He has cooties. He's going to spread the cooties to us all. Excuse me. All of a sudden, I've gotten a cough that I didn't have. Oh, hang on now. Do I not have the... Oh, there it is. Woo, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I had the Dark Hand. Alright, so that's that. I don't think we're going to go with any ranged weapon whatsoever. I might add one later, we'll see. The Dark Set, where is it at? Come on now, Dark Set, show yourself. I have so much junk. I should get rid of all this extra armor sometime. Should I do it on camera or off camera? By the way, Windows updated, and as usual, Windows just loves to shit itself. It lost track of my microphone. I tried to start this recording. It's like, there's no sound device installed. Recording device. I'm like, oh, really? NVIDIA can't find its control panel, and that's just a big fiasco. And I don't know, guys. Something... Oh, wait. Hang on now. There we go. Okay, I did that backwards. We want to get rid of the black armor set, so I think I just passed it, didn't I? Sunlight Maggot, we can keep that. Let's find the dark... or the black... Knight set and on equip, or put it, oh, here, golf. Okay, we'll get rid of his junk too. Golf, however you want to pronounce it. Who cares? Here we go. We'll also talk about some red pill concepts, masculinity, dating, all that good stuff. If I can clear my throat here without spreading the virus to everybody in my vicinity. I decided, in order to buck the standard, I went to the local library, and I'm recording this at my local library. People are giving me really weird looks. I'm just kidding. I'm obviously not at the local library. Oh my goodness, I swear I did not have half of this cough before this video started. I told you I have the worst luck. Start a video recording, suddenly I got a cough like crazy. We need more Twinkling Titanite to upgrade that. Now, I can't take off the Ring of Favor and Protection without breaking it, so... What else should we use? The Chloranthy Ring? Cursebite Ring? Wolf Ring? How much poise do I have? 40. That's a good amount, so I'm not too worried. I think that's a... Is that a cutoff point? 40? I can't remember. I could do the Ring of Steel, Favor, and Protection. Hang on now, let's see what we're doing. We're medium rolling. So if we do a Havels, I don't think we're going to fast roll. Oh, we are. Havels it is. Look at this, guys. Now, the only catch is, in order to use the Dark Hand for the Humanity Sucking effect, you need to put it in your right hand, and I don't have 2 Dark Hands. I really should have gotten 2 Dark Hands. I didn't think about this. We'll go get a second Dark Hand as soon as possible. How's that sound? This is like, what, new game plus 2, plus 3, plus 70,000? I don't know. It's not 70,000, I know that. I think it's new game plus 3, depending on how they do it. Whoa. This weapon has that interesting spin move, doesn't it? There. That's how you do it. This is how we do it. Alright. Those of you from the 90s will understand. The rest of you won't know what I'm singing. No, you'll probably know. That's a popular song. I think I'm going to like this playthrough. I'm back to fast running. What the heck? Where'd this asshole come from? He thought it was he could just jump down now that I killed the boss? No. Oh, the fog wall. The fog wall. The Mogwai. Don't feed him after midnight, folks. I don't know. When can you feed him, though? That's a reference to Gremlins. If you haven't seen Gremlins, you should watch it. You know what? I don't need it. Forget it. I don't need that item either. I need to quit picking up shit I don't need. Like viruses. So, if you go to my Twitter account, and I'll try to link it in the description if I remember. I'm going to link to my Twitter thread where I link to 8 or 9, I can't remember how many at this point, different articles talking about why we shouldn't be panicking over this whole sickness, illness thing. Why shutting down public life is not an appropriate reaction. And why the damage that we are doing is going to be more significant and more harmful than the virus itself. People have no concept of what we're doing to the economy by just shutting everything down for weeks on end. Now, a lot of people are sitting here going, well, Fox, you know, are you saying that just to keep the stock prices up on a few big corporations, you're willing to sacrifice Grandma and Grandpa's lives? Well, no. What I'm saying is that that's not really the trade-off. It's not that simple. Shutting everything down is not the safe way to do it. We oftentimes think there's some sort of safe, good way, the best way. This is the most secure way. Like, this is just better safe than sorry approach. There is no better safe than sorry approach to this, guys. Shutting down public life has serious, dire consequences. Instances of domestic violence will increase. There will be some murders to go along with those. Of course, you don't care about those if you're willing to shut down public life. Are you willing to let men and women die? You know, we always do these exaggerated trade-off things. If you don't vote for this healthcare bill, Grandma and Grandpa will die. I remember Elizabeth Warren, there was a video of her. People will die. That's my favorite one. Remy did a YouTube video making fun of it. I forget the name of the video. I'll try to link that in the description as well. If I forget, ask me in the comment section. He does music videos making fun of politics and the news. He does a great job at it too. He makes fun of the idea that people will die if we don't do X, Y, or Z. And of course, you know, yeah, I mean, people die all the time. That's normal. It's totally normal. People die from the flu all the time. Pneumonia and colds. Yes, you have given the flu to elderly people who got sick and never recovered and actually died from it. Yes, you did that. I'm sure I've done that too. We do it all the time. This new virus is nothing new in that regard. Now, is the virus itself new? I think so. There are some people that don't believe there is a C virus, that it's fake, it's a conspiracy, that the government has created it, that some government created it, and it's a means to try to get control over the population. Do I believe that? Well, I won't go that far, but I will say that it does call into question exactly how different this is and how risky this is to the public when we are acting completely out of line with what the risk actually is. The response we're getting from most countries is completely contrary to the actual data. That is to say, the data does not support our actions, and people don't seem to care. Path of the Dragon. Wait a minute, I'm not in the, why am I not in the Dark Wraith thingamajigger? It's bullshit, y'all. I need to be in the Dark Wraith thing. I will pick this up. This is always... oh, wait. Unless you have too many. Let's try this. I told you guys, I always end up with more humanity than I need. Alright, so there are items around here, but I don't really desperately need them. Let's go kill... Let's go fight some Dark Wraiths and see if we can get a Dark Hand. How's that sound? Reinforce my Estus. Oh, I can't. It's maximum reinforcement. So, am I worried about this virus thing? Not really. It's drastically affected my job and my girlfriend's job. I won't tell you exactly what we both do, but some of you figured out what I do. Oh, drastically affected my job. Have I been super busy and that's why I haven't uploaded anything? No. No, I wish I could tell you that. No, I just... I didn't get anything together, and I was trying to get a series together in which I would have a very structured list of topics like the last couple playthroughs. But I just haven't gotten one together yet. Nothing has really gripped me all that much recently, so I finally decided, you know what, I'm not going to just keep waiting and trying to throw this together. And I've been doing some other things as well, granted. It's not like I've been sitting around doing nothing. Or have I? Oh, wait, I can't get to them until I... Well, whatever, let's do it. This is really doing things out of order, huh? I'm pretty sure I can open this area up all the way. Yeah, I should be able to. But before I go in here, let's do this. Alright. I think, like, the contrast or something on this is off. It just doesn't look as good. Maybe I need to go into the NVIDIA settings and change it again. Let's see if I can bring it up with the NVIDIA menu. I don't know how that shows on the playthrough here. Game filter. Oh, all the filters are erased. Brightness and contrast. And then there was another one I did that looked really good. I can't remember which one it was. Depth of field, color details. No, that wasn't it. Clarity. We're going to get rid of that one. Brightness and contrast I like. There was another one that made things look much better. Well, that certainly wasn't it. Vignette? No, of course not. Let's see. Split screen special effects. I think that was it. And then I turned retro down. Sketch? No. Halftone? No, maybe not. Darn it, I thought I'd found it. So you can go in here in the PC version and just sort of fiddle around with this and try to make it look however you want. Some of it's really silly, obviously. Others are better. What about color? Vibrance? Tint color? We'll get rid of that. Anyway, we have this brightness contrast. And we'll turn it off. That's what it looks like. Turn it back on. That's what it looks like. On, off, on. So we'll see how that looks. It does darken it a bit. All right, we're back. That should look better. Although it does get a little too dark, doesn't it now? Alright, well, let's go in here and change the contrast a bit. Okay, so we're going to have to leave... The contrast made it look better, it did, but I guess we'll just have to leave that at that setting. I don't want it so dark I can't see stuff. So, what the... Oh. I'm like, did a bunch of shit disappear there? I just went the wrong way. Oh no, here we go. The Firekeeper's soul. Oh shit. I'm trying not to fall off this ledge. That's my only real concern here. There we go. Woo, okay, we did it. And then we'll get this one. So the problem is in the massive, massive overreaction to this new virus thing that has caused me to want to react even more towards it, to say that it's even less of a deal than it is. Now it is a, well, I wouldn't say it's a big deal. It's a deal, not a big deal. Certainly not the big deal it's being made out to be. Definitely not the big deal it's being made out to be. I think, you know, and ultimately, could I end up being wrong? It's possible. But I don't think so. I think after all this is over, we'll see that it's not the big deal everyone made it out to be. Everything's going to be fine. And of course, what's going to happen? They're all going to go, well, yeah, see, because we quarantined, that's what made everything okay. If we hadn't done this, it would have been disastrous. And I'm like, no, it's not the quarantine that made everything better. The quarantine made things actually worse because we destabilized the economy. The economic effect is not about big corporations making lots of money. This is not about big, greedy corporations getting even more of that greedy, greedy money. This is about mostly small to medium-sized businesses, family-owned businesses, local businesses in your community that may close and, unfortunately, never come back from this. They may not come back from this. I keep forgetting not to pick up all this crap I don't need. It's just extra junk that's going to sit in my inventory. I already have all these. That's what people don't understand. This isn't about helping Walmart to have extra money on hand. This isn't about helping the airlines to be extra super rich and pay their CEOs twice as much as usual. It's not even about trying to maintain the economy and just like keep everyone, keep all the rich people getting richer. This is about the small-time individual, the family, the working man. These are the people that have been put out of work. And it's important to keep in mind that it's not a disease, an illness, or a virus that puts you out of a job. The government did that to you. It wasn't a virus causing you to get sick and go home and not be able to work. It was decisions of politicians that did that. And I think we need to keep this in mind. Keep in mind who actually caused all of this to happen. As long as we pretend like it's the virus doing it and the government is here to save us, well, then you can have some sense of reassurance that you think everything's going to be okay. And, you know, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That is some serious, serious beating, isn't it? Let's, oh, jeez. Let's do this. That's why I couldn't do any damage. Oh, they're gonna hit me! They're gonna hit me! Oh, he missed. It's gonna suck not having any sort of long-ranged attack on this guy, though. I might end up using a bow or a spell or something. I don't know. We'll see. There are times where ranged attacks come in handy. Well, gee, I could have used that humidity to heal had I thought about it. Oh, come on now. I need you guys within range. Alright, let's go grab this. Okay. I like that little spin attack. Let's see what this spin attack is, but let's not do it on a platform where we're likely to die. So there's what's-his-face. If I had a ranged attack, I'd shoot him with that, and then he'd drop the key. I remember when this first came out on PC, there was a bug where the key wouldn't drop, and people were getting screwed. Their games were getting ruined. They'd have to just start over. Oh my gosh, I almost went right off the edge. It's amazing how many of these I'm killing and not getting any drops. I prefer the transient curse drop. That way I just always have plenty on hand. I'll pick up all humanities, upgrade items, and souls, as far as I can remember which is which. But most rings, armor, weapons, and whatnot I don't need. So as much as I can remember what those are, I'll just not get them. Oh, they're coming for me. They're coming for me. Oh, shit. They're getting me. Oh, thanks for bunching up together. So I think when it's all said and done, we'll find out this wasn't that big a deal, and the damage we did to the economy will be far, far worse. However, all the people in charge and most Americans who just want to believe in this bullshit from the media and the government will all be like, oh no, it was the quarantines that did all this. If we hadn't quarantined, it would have been much worse. We saved ourselves from the virus by shutting down public life. I'm like, no, you didn't. You didn't save anything. All you did was destroy the economy. So the damage to the economy is going to have an absolutely devastating effect on real, everyday, normal, working class people. Middle income, lower income. It's going to affect some of those in some of the upper echelons, you know, those that make over $100,000. They'll be affected as well. All the stimulus stuff will raise inflation. It'll just be more and more government debt. Well, give me the key, douchebag. Is he not going to give me the key? There's some condition to that, isn't there? You know what the condition is? This. This is the condition. Now give me the key. Give me the key. Finally. Hey, if he'd just given it to me willingly, that wouldn't have been necessary. It's his fault, really. What's he going to do with it? I am here to save all of Lorgen, sort of. So, I would like you guys to let me know in the comments section your opinion on this virus thing. Go to the description of this video, description box, and take a look at the links I put down there. There's a Twitter thread with a bunch of links to different articles by professionals. They include virologists, virus experts, computational biologists, Harvard and Hoover Institute professors, I think a Harvard professor, some healthcare professionals. I mean, there may be a link to one or more doctors who wrote some articles. So these are not just politicians. These are not just economists saying, hey, this is bad for the economy, stop. These are experts in their fields, healthcare fields, virus-related fields. So, you know, this is the real deal. What's disturbing, though, is as a people, we tend to, as people, not as a people, but as people, we tend to want to believe what we already believe or what we're just naturally inclined to believe through whatever we have set up in our lives. So if you were born into a Democrat family and your whole family's always been Democrat, and that's the case with mine, you may have this natural propensity to see Democrat politicians more favorably than Republicans because you've just kind of heard that propaganda from your parents and your family members, your older brothers and sisters. You've been getting that pro-Democrat propaganda. This is for my American audience. For those that don't know, I think most of you already know this if you're watching this. In America, we have two major political parties that ever win anything. There's Democrat and Republican. The Republicans are generally a little more conservative, and the Democrats have been becoming increasingly far, far more progressive or left-wing. There's been this misunderstanding that Republicans have gotten more conservative or that they're right-wing or some bullshit like that. And you can objectively see that Republicans have actually moved to the left more. Republicans have moved closer to the center. Centrist Republicans have moved more to the left. In general, almost all politicians in America are moving leftward. There are reasons for that. They're not good reasons. They're not. But, I mean, it's just the tendency of any government is to get bigger and bigger, take more and more power, take more and more money, and take away more and more rights. Governments just love getting bigger and more expansive and just controlling more and more and more and more. And that's just that's a bad thing, obviously, but it's what they do. It is a natural propensity because every time someone comes to the government bitching and moaning about something, the government eventually, if they bitch and moan loud enough or pay them enough money, donate enough money to their campaign, they'll go ahead and do something about it. So, you know, we end up creating all these agencies related to the government. And before you know it, we have all this shit that we never had before, and people believe that, well, we can't live without it. I mean, for example, like the Department of Child Services or Child Protective Services or Department of Health and Human Services, whatever department it is in your state that deals with children and cases of abuse or neglect. You know, we didn't used to have those. We didn't used to have these Child Protective Services departments. So what do you think we did before then? You think children were just dying left and right, bodies in the streets, you know? This is the myth that always goes out there. Before Medicaid and Medicare, and yes, there was a time before government-run healthcare or health insurance. You know what? We didn't have bodies in the streets. We didn't. If you talk to Ron Paul, who is an actual licensed medical doctor, in addition to a former politician, he's retired now, he'll tell you things were better before the government started offering health insurance. They made things worse. We didn't have bodies in the streets. We didn't have dead children left and right and, you know, all this horrible crap. But people are under this belief that there's no way we could get rid of Child Protective Services. We need them. I mean, what would we do without them? What would the kids do? Right? You're probably thinking that yourself. You're like, what are you talking about, Fox? We need these agencies. All the abuse out there and neglect. I mean, what would we do? And that's the propensity of government, to always believe that once an agency is created that never used to exist, we need it. We can't live without it. Golly, darn it. I knew that was going to happen. The propensity is always, once you create welfare, we can't imagine living without it. It's necessary. People would die. People would starve to death in their homes without welfare. They didn't before welfare. They didn't. Yeah, there was a time before welfare, and they didn't starve to death. They were fine. You know, the kids, all about kids. What would happen to the kids? Same thing that happened to them before we had Child Protective Services agencies. Well, what would happen to people with their healthcare needs if the government didn't have Medicaid and Medicare and local state insurances? Same thing that happened before we had all that. And it wasn't bodies in the streets. It wasn't people dying left and right. Unfortunately, you know, now that government's involved, can we just cut these programs immediately? Well, that would be rough, wouldn't it? That would get a little rough. The thing is, people have become somewhat dependent on these resources. And these resources have caused a lot of tangential problems. Things like Medicaid and Medicare and all government-run healthcare insurance have skyrocketed the costs of healthcare. They have pushed healthcare costs way up, out of the reach of the average person, way more than it used to be before the government got involved. The government has all these rules and regulations that make it more difficult for doctors to treat their patients and more expensive for doctors to treat their patients. Not better. Now, there are certain instances where somebody out there is getting care they normally wouldn't for some sort of condition, but as a general rule, things are not better because the government got involved. They're worse. And yet here we are thinking we couldn't possibly get the government out of it because how would we survive without the government? And I know this sounds like an anti-government speech, and that's not at all what my intent is here. My intent is to say government is best when government is small. Government is worst when government is big. The bigger the government is, the more corrupt it is, the more of your money it takes, and the more of your money it wastes. The less money the government gets, the less capable it is of wasting money. It has to be a little more conservative with how it spends it. But when governments are taking in trillions of dollars from businesses, you know, all the businesses and people and tax dollars and gas tax and tolls and all this stuff, tax on your cell phone and tax on the groceries and tax on this and tax on that. When everything's getting taxed and they're taking in all this revenue, it's possible for them to just waste a lot of it. I mean, government agencies will lose track of billions of dollars, and we just don't even think twice about it. We don't even shrug. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, well, that's just the government for you. They're just losing billions more dollars. You know, it's not funny. It really isn't funny. If a company was trying to keep track of their funds and they notice millions of dollars missing, that would be like, oh my gosh, this is a huge big deal. This could end the company. Millions are missing. And yet the government, billions, sometimes trillions of dollars, we can just lose track of it. Where the hell did it go? We don't know. Nobody knows where it went. It's just missing. Oh well, who cares? It ain't that big a deal, right? Maybe we'll find it later. Maybe it's under the couch cushions. Oh, I just barely caught that guy before I got slammed. Woo. Okay, there we go. Now we're in much better shape. Oh shit. I got greedy. Had to pick up an item before it was safe. Come here, buddy. Gotcha. So here comes the government to save us from the great evil virus. Do you guys remember under Bush? Whom I voted for once and not again. I learned my lesson the first time. I also didn't vote for Romney or McCain because they were terrible. They were garbage. I don't like voting for garbage. Trump is okay. He's not as great as I thought he'd be. He's not as much of an outsider as I thought he'd be. And he kept a whole lot of really shitty people in positions. It's disappointing how many shitty people he's put in powerful positions and how many shitty people he let just stay in their powerful positions and how much shit he's allowing to just happen during his administration. But I'm not shocked by it. It's just normal. Obama wasn't a whole lot different than that. Obama, let's talk about Obama. Holy shit. Has there ever in history been a more disappointing president in terms of the hype? Man, did he get hyped up, and did he turn out to be a bland, boring, run-of-the-mill, mediocre politician from start to finish? There wasn't anything special about him. Yeah, I guess he was the first biracial president, but everyone wanted to laud him as being one race and not the other. No, he wasn't just one race. His mother was one race, his father was a different race, so he was biracial, not just one. In fact, it is standard practice in most countries that if you're going to list one race for a person, you list the race of the mother of that person. This was standard on birth certificates for the longest time. I think some states are still doing it. They would list the race of the mother on the birth certificate as the race of the child. And if the child has to have one race listed for him or her on, say, a form they're filling out, an education form or whatever, they always encourage you to list the race of the mother. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Maybe that's sexist. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe the mother has no more genetic input than the father, because I think we've determined there is pretty much a 50-50 genetic split, so why pick the mom? I don't know, but that's what they typically do. So by typically picking the mother, what that means is that Obama is white. Now, that's a completely accurate statement. At least it's as accurate as saying that he's black. Neither one is more or less correct. They are both equally correct and equally wrong. If it bothers you to hear one or the other, well, that's because you've invested in something. We all invest in lies. The goal is not to. When you discover a lie that you've invested in, when it's been exposed to you as a lie that you've invested in, that's your opportunity to correct course and uninvest. Don't invest in lies. One of the biggest lies, a video put out by Rollo Tomasi today, although the audio quality on it was terrible. I'm sure he's frustrated that the audio turned out so bad. He recorded a video on what he calls one-itis. I don't like the term one-itis. I think it sounds stupid. I believe it's better in his other term for it, the soulmate myth, or the one. The notion of one-itis, or the soulmate myth, is this notion that there is a one special person out there for you, romantically. What this means is that if you're a guy... Oh, there we go. Holy shit, guys. Even though I died once, you could technically say we almost got this in the first run. Although if you count the death, it was really the second run, because we just came back through here. That was cool. I did not expect that so soon. I thought we'd be doing several rounds of this shit. Woo! Oh, I walked right into it. Oh no. Oh no! Oh shit. I forgot he can do that little swipe attack. What a bitch. I don't want this ghost constantly nagging me, so I'm gonna kill him. There we go. I had to waste a curse, but whatever. I got 17 more. Oh, and there's another ghost. There's usually 2 here. So, yeah, the soulmate myth, one-itis, the one, the special one, the one designed for you, the one chosen, ordained by God. All of this stuff is essentially a bullshit lie. This is a lie that most of us have invested in, whether you realize it or not. Women invest in this just as much as men do, but women get over men faster than men get over women, typically. Not always, guys, please. We really don't need to argue about always and generally meaning always. When I say generally or as a general rule or in general, typically, I mean exactly what I'm saying. Not always. Okay? So no, we don't always see... Obviously, I can't go defeat the four kings. For obvious reasons, I don't have the Ring of Artorias to survive the abyss. And Nintendo, today is March 26th, sorry. Nintendo did a direct where they announced Xenoblade Definitive Edition, which I may get. Xenoblade is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. It floundered at the end. The story, the characters, really, really good up until about the last, I would say, 1/6 to 1/5 of the game. At that point, it does the typical JRPG bullshit where everything gets really, really convoluted. It's the power of friendship and togetherness that defeat the evil, and you can't really figure out who the bad guy is and why he's a bad guy, but there's lots of explanation about it, but it's really fucking confusing, and you're still not really sure what the hell's going on. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, those of you that have played JRPGs. By the way, people say that Dark Souls is a JRPG. I cannot disagree with that enough. I have a video on my channel. I'll try to link that one as well. Let me actually write down all the links I'm supposed to be putting in here. I have so many notepads. I really do. I have 1, 2, 3. Right now on my desk, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have nine notepads, 3 different colors. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 different colors, 9 notepads of all different things. I have goals for the year, goals I accomplished last year, red pill concepts, tons of notes, notes on some current legal stuff I'm going through, notes on video topics for the future, just tons of stuff. Okay, link in the description. I really need more memo pads is what I need. Links in description. Let's do the link to my Twitter thread. That's the one. The link to Rollo Tomasi's video on One-itis. Although the audio quality sucks, guys, it's worth listening to. Bear with it. And then what was the other link I just talked about? The link to the One-itis, the Twitter thread, and my video on JRPG videos. Okay. So why do I believe that this is not a JRPG? What should I actually put? You know what? Let's put it into strength, because if I go with a big, heavy strength weapon, I actually might need up to 50 strength to one-hand it. Alright. I need to find a good way to keep my coffee warm. I haven't found one yet. Those mug warmers just don't work. I've tried them. Maybe there's a mug warmer including a mug, not just that you put any old mug on it, but one that includes a mug that has like metal coils running up through the inside of the mug that keep it heated. But the mug warmers I've used, just no, they don't work. I just worry about burning my desk. It makes the under part of my desk hotter where it's sitting than the mug that's sitting on top of it. Alright guys, well look what we did. Isn't this cool? By the way, I think you can get away with some free soul sucking here, right? On NPCs. What? Why isn't that working? There we go. Oh, it was the elevation. Forgive the sound effects, guys. Did I not? I don't know if I even got anything out of that. You know what? Let's do a playthrough where all I do is punch with the dark hand. No, not really. That would be stupid. All right, let's do something else today. Actually, man, this let me tell you something. This looks like shit, doesn't it? I gotta make this look better. It just does not look good. Maybe I wish it would allow me to use. Okay, let's do a little contrast, and then there's got to be something else we can add for effect here. There was something else that made it look good. Night mode. Actually, I think night mode might make it look better. Let's try just night mode. I don't know which one's better. It's hard to tell. Let's try just night mode for now, and then remove HUD. It don't work. All right, let's try not what the hell? Split screen? And I don't know about that. I don't know about stickers. Yeah, that's that's real useful. Yeah, that's how I want to play the game with a big giant smiley face. Watercolor. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, some of these are obviously gimmicks. Green screen? Okay. Some of these are not supported, obviously. Black and white. Ooh, that could be interesting. But you know what? A lot of these effects I could apply afterwards when editing the video if I didn't actually want to play that one. Details. I think that's what I like. Now, night mode. Let's get rid of night mode. Let's add it before. And I think it matters the order. So can you drag order? Yeah, you can drag order up and down. See how it matters? It matters what order you do things in. So let's apply details first, night mode second. We're going to take down the sharpening just a bit because I don't want it too sharp. Okay. HDR toning, bloom. I like that. Now let's try adding a brightness and contrast. Okay. And I like how you can have multiple things open at once. Like you can open all these or none of them. Let's do down. Oh. You see the difference it makes right there? That looks the best so far. All right, we'll try this for a bit. We'll see how that works. If you guys don't like it, oh well. It looks a little funky. Let's see if we get used to it. How about that? We'll see if we get used to it. Now we can fast roll again. It definitely looks... I think it definitely looks better than the other option, which is the default. I think by default, this game has always had really, really washed out color and contrast. It does look a little funky, though, so hang on. Let's see if we can reduce that sharpening a little bit more. I think it's the sharp... So, yeah, it's that sharpening effect that... Okay, yep, that's what made it look kind of gross. Now it looks better. Mostly. Let's do it. 935! I want 4 digits next time. I want 4 digits of damage. Ooh, oh, 935. Very consistent. Let me tell you one thing about this whole virus pandemic nonsense. I can tell you it is definitely not boring. No one's complained that they're bored out of this when it comes to the actual debate on it online. Now, being stuck at home is kind of boring. Not being able to go to the gym sucks. I went to the gym until the very last day I could. The very last day. I would still be going if they'd allow it. I'm not concerned. I don't think there's any real reason to be concerned. I mean, if old people are concerned about it, old people can stay in. You know? This is that socialist notion that we all have to suffer because somebody else has a problem. Granted, look, if you think you're putting grandma at risk, don't visit grandma in the nursing home. Problem solved. Really. You know? And we should treat those that are infected, treat where the epidemic is occurring. Not apply this universally to everyone. This is like that punish everybody because one kid in the class did something. It's just not a good idea. What we're doing, like I said, the economic impact. There are people who have not only lost their job, they won't get it back, guys. They will not get that job back. Now, here's the catch. We could sit around and bitch all day about what this has done and the bad effects and blah, blah, blah. We can, and I will. But in addition to the bitching all day about it in my not live streams, but in my I want to do live streams again soon too, by the way. In my playthroughs, you have to take advantage of this. Get on Twitter, follow people who talk about improving themselves, being better, and they're not all perfect. I follow some people where half their advice I think is junk, the other half is great. You have to be your own advocate. You really do. Why did I even pick that shit up? You have to be your own advocate. No one else will, okay, guys? Other people may mislead you. Other people may tell you that this is better and that's better, and no, you should do this or you should do that. It's up to you to determine what's really in your best interest. No one else can do that. You know, you can hire a life coach But let me tell you something, guys. A life coach is not going to tell you, you know what, I actually don't know what you should do. No, you're paying this guy. He's going to pretend to know even if he doesn't. So keep that in mind, all right? You have to make your own best determination. So I follow so many people on Twitter that I don't necessarily agree with, and that's fine. That's good because I get competing viewpoints. If all I did were follow people that I agreed with, then I wouldn't get competing viewpoints, and that would be a bad thing. So there are people out there, and you should be following these people who are saying, hey, you know what you should be doing? Take this time where you're quarantined, where you don't have a job, and work out. Work out at home. If you can, if the place is open, go out and buy some weights to work out at home if you can afford it. If not, do body weight workouts. If your park is still open, find a spot in the park where you can do chin-ups and pull-ups. Do push-ups. Jog. Run in place. Do exercises where you push yourself in terms of the cardio. Find heavy things to lift. And then lift them. And get better at lifting them, you know? Maybe you could go to, maybe you're going shopping at the grocery store and you see those big giant containers of cat litter. Pick them up and just lift them up a few times. Maybe pick up a smaller container cat litter, lift it out to the side, work your delts, your shoulders. You know, whatever you need to do, right? Get some gallons of water that you have stored in your garage or your attic for this emergency or whatever. Lift those repeatedly. Use them at bicep curls. Yeah, it's not a lot of weight, but it's better than nothing. Use this as an opportunity to grow. Look up those body weight workout programs. Buy some of those body weight workout bands that they have of different varying levels of resistance. Find them online. Buy some that if you can afford it. If you can afford it, of course. If you can't afford it, like I said, go to the parks or wherever you can and do workouts safely. You know, don't jump on any old light pole and start trying to do a pull-up and the light pole's going to come down and you're going to fall on your head. That would be bad, but do everything you can during this time to get healthier. Start buying healthier food. Narrow down what you eat. Instead of buying a load of shit from the grocery store, boxed shit here, boxed cereals, all this crap, microwave dinner here, and hamburger helper processed shit here. You know what? Why not start narrowing down? This time, go there and go, you know what? I'm going to buy some meat, some garlic, some vegetables, and I'm going to use those spices from my spice rack I never touch. And then make something at home. Learn to cook. Learn a new skill. You got that piano or that keyboard sitting there you haven't touched in a while? Start playing again. Get on YouTube. You don't have to buy tutorials. You don't have to buy lessons from somebody. Yeah, it's better if you buy lessons from an expert who can teach you well and focus on exactly what you need. But if you have to for the time being, use YouTube. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube. Use this opportunity to read those books you haven't read. Get Rollo Tomasi's The Rational Male and read it. Read it. Actually read it. Don't just leave it sitting on your desk. Don't just leave it in a bookshelf somewhere. Don't leave it sitting unused in your Kindle digital library. Actually take your eyeballs and run them across all the words on the pages. If you kind of didn't get everything about a certain passage, read it again. Read it over and over until you get it. Read an entire book, and if you thought that the book was super helpful, read it again, and this time take notes. Have a pen and pad of paper next to you. Take notes. Always wanted to write a book? Start writing. Start storyboarding out what the book's going to be about. Start writing down the characters and what the characters will be like, and story arcs and things. Write everything out. Get going on some projects. Time to clean the house. How about that? Get your house cleaned. Get your apartment cleaned. Start cleaning stuff up. Take care of anything else that you've been leaving that needs to be taken care of. Maybe you need to, shoot, maybe it could be play through a game that you've left lying around and that you really want to play through. Oh boy, you know, I forget. This isn't going to kill me in one shot. Oh shit. I knew that was off before it even landed. Good news is he can't move very fast, so. Oh yes! Oh shit, I missed it. Okay, there we go. And done. That's how steak is done. Learn how to cook a steak, guys. If you've got a little extra money, go get yourself a cast iron skillet, cast iron pan, and learn to cook a really good steak. Get a nice bone-in ribeye. Get some thyme, not the powdered kind. Get the actual sprigs of thyme, some garlic, some good grass-fed cow butter, and some garlic. Slice the garlic up. dice it up in there with some butter and whatnot, and learn how to baste it. Do the reverse sear. Do a sear, an oven-based sear, where you cook it part of the way in the oven and part of the way in a pan. Learn how to cook if you don't know how to cook. Learn how to make food, healthy food, good food. I make food even when I was in college, guys. When I was in college, literally, guys would come to my apartment and ask me to make meals that I'd made last time they were there. I'd invite them over, and I'd make some food for everybody. We'd sit there and we'd play video games, and we'd chat, and we'd play a board game, we'd talk, we'd just, you know, hang out, you know? And I'd make something simple, like I'd make my own homemade spaghetti. The noodles, yeah, I bought in the store. And at the time, you know, I just bought regular wheat gluten noodles. I didn't know any better. You can still eat them somewhat, just be careful. Gluten's not good for most people. Know what makes you feel good. Keep a food diary during this time. But I would make spaghetti where it's homemade sauce. I'd add ground beef and cook it up myself with spices and whatnot. I'd make my own homemade kind of boiled potato slices from scratch with spices and all this stuff in it. And guys loved that because they were so used to, you know, buying fast food, the pizza, the cafeteria food, and this was, damn, this was good homemade stuff. And most guys my age didn't know how. A lot of people in my generation don't know how. I'm right on the cusp of millennial and what it's called, Gen X. Some people consider me a millennial, some people consider me Gen X. It depends. I don't consider myself a millennial, but depending on who you ask, I am. But I'm on the very edge. The older edge, that is. Literally, like, some people put I've seen some people say my birth date is the cutoff point. So at that point, what does it matter? I mean, it's not like 1 year makes all the difference in the world. So many people nowadays, young guys, millennials, and the younger generation, can't cook. They can't. A lot of the guys, millennial men, report themselves as being able to cook better than millennial women do. And I'm not saying that's good, bad, right, or wrong. But what I'm saying is, you want to have life skills. Have as many life skills as possible. More life skills, the better. If you've never really learned how to do laundry, here's a chance. If you never learned how to cook, here's your chance. If you've been meaning to learn an instrument, here's your chance. If you've been meaning to write a book, here's your chance. When everything else is shutting down and everyone else is just hanging out bored, playing video games like this one and doing nothing else, this is your chance. Excuse me. I'm doing what workouts I can, given that I don't have access to gym and I don't have home gym equipment. And I am also doing some other things, reading some books. Excuse me. And for me, these playthroughs, I'm not just playing this game for the hell of it. I'm playing to produce videos, to upload to my channel, which is one of my hobbies and something that I do. I produce content that I think has value. All right, we still got a little time left. I'm trying to make these about an hour now. I used to go shoot for 45 minutes, and I felt that they were a little short. When I've done polls on Twitter and asked you guys, most of you have said you prefer the hour format. If you don't, let me know. If you do, let me know. Whatever your opinion is, let me know. I'd love to hear it on anything I talk about in here. But again, guys, don't panic over this virus thing. Don't believe the media. You know the media lies. You know the media is sensational. If I were to say, hey, do you trust your government completely? You'd say no. If I said, do you trust the media? You'd say no. But here you are, believing everything the media and the government's telling you about this virus, running around wearing masks and gloves and shit, holed up in your houses, some of you even shaming other family members for not self-quarantining themselves. I mean, have you ever considered that you're part of the problem, not the solution? Don't shame family members for being an individual. Everyone likes to think, well, what the hell? What is this? I'm not online, so it's not an invasion. Everyone likes to say, well, I'm not a sheep. I'm not just doing what everyone else is doing. Yes, you are. It's exactly what you're doing. You're doing what everyone else is doing right now by shaming everyone and telling them to quarantine and telling them to worry about this virus and, you know, talking about all this and saying we need to shut down all the businesses and get this stimulus bill and all this other bullshit. And I'm like, you're just parroting the same shit that's coming from the media and the government and everyone else. If you want to prove that you're an individual and not a sheep, think for yourself. Decide for yourself what you believe about all this. Look up alternative information. I'm not saying there's an alternative truth. What I'm saying is that there are alternative sources of information that aren't parroting the same bullshit as everybody else. You should always be concerned when everything you're hearing from the TV, the news media, your company, all that is all the same. Why? Well, think about it this way. The business you work for, have they done any independent research into this virus? No, they're just parroting the same bullshit everyone else is parroting. Most politicians, most of the federal government, most hospitals, most doctors, most every organization is just parroting the same stupid bullshit of everyone else. They're not doing any independent research. They're not doing any independent verification. They're just looking at everyone else and going, well, this is the what the CDC is saying this, so let's say this too. And if you trust the CDC, guys, by the way, that's the Center for Disease Control in the United States. They're part of the government, okay? Do you trust Trump's government 100%? I'm a Trump supporter, and I don't trust Trump's government 100%. Nobody should. Because I know he's lying to us about some stuff. I know they tell him to mislead the public about some stuff. I know he's probably misleading the public about some stuff for his own benefit, for the benefit of the party, for the benefit of the federal government and not the people. I am not under the illusion that Trump is 100% for us. You know, I know how this stuff works. I vote for Trump because it's the better of the two choices that become available. If Biden's the one coming up, oh my goodness, please, guys, we do not need Biden running this country. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. The guy's like your old senile grandpa. Half the time you're like, okay, grandpa, no one knows what the hell you're talking about. Shut up now. I mean, the guy's talking about kids feeling up his leg hairs and then something about roaches. And I mean, I show videos of his speeches to my girlfriend. She just laughs. She just looks at me with this confused look like, what is he talking about? I'm like, nobody has any idea. The less this guy talks, the better. Biden just needs to retire, okay? I don't know what is up with this guy, but he's not there. He's not all there. He's playing with like less than half a deck at this point. All right, guys. Well, that pretty much sums it up for the day in this scatterbrained stream of consciousness playthrough. I'll try to put those links in the description here, if I remember. I hope you guys are looking forward to the next episode of this Dark Wraith playthrough. This looks like it's going to be pretty good. I have a shield that's okay. I mean, I wouldn't want to block any like heavy hits with this thing, but it's great for magic and fire and lightning and all that. I've got, you know, a secondary weapon of sorts, kind of. And then, of course, I've got the Dark Wraith sword. Dark sword? Yeah, the Dark Sword plus 15, which is a great weapon, I'm finding out. Better than I thought. Great to use either one-handed or two-handed. And it's a decent armor set with some decent poise, so it should be a fairly easy playthrough, relatively. Well, I'm Fox of FoxeoGames. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like the video if you liked it, leave comments below. I do read them all and try to respond when I have something interesting to respond to. I may talk about your comment in a future video if it's interesting enough. I'd love to hear your personal stories of relationships and manosphere stuff, of this ridiculous virus, overreaction, hysteria, panic nonsense, and all that jazz. As always, guys, follow me on social media. Twitter is where I'm most active. Links are in the description, and make sure to go to those links in the description to see Rollo Tomasi's video, the Twitter thread I have about the current viral pandemic panic, and of course the JRPG video I referenced that I didn't talk too much about, but I do not believe Dark Souls is a JRPG, and I talk about it in that video. I think I was very succinct. The video will describe it very well. I will see you guys in the next video, and as always, take care of yourself, maintain that frame in your relationships, make sure you keep it all about you. Never make women a priority. A woman should be a complement to your life, not the focus of it, according to Richard Cooper. And don't have one itis for one chick. There is no one special chick out there for you. There are many good ones. There are many bad ones. Pick the best that you can find. All right, guys. I hope that you've watched my other playthroughs. If you haven't, go ahead and watch them. I recommend the Red Pill Basics playthrough, the one before this. It is the best one of all my playthroughs to watch for the content. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Later.